I'm going to talk about conditioning, cardio, whatever you want to call it, and just go over the two major components of this. So you have aerobic fitness and you have aerobic fitness. And aerobic fitness can be broken down to two. Something to kind of understand as I'm going through this is that they're both always working at the same time, but usually one is a lot more dominant. So your aerobic system is the system that is constantly being used. So when you're not doing intense things, that is the system that's majority being used. It's being used for everyday things. It's also being used when you do basically when you're doing low intensity or moderate intensity stuff. That's why you can do things for a long period of time. So you could walk for a long period of time, depending on your fitness level. You could jog for a long period of time. The aerobic system allows you to do that. The second thing, and this is the most important thing that your aerobic system does, it helps you recover in between your workouts and between your sets. And also it helps you recover and deal with stress better. So this is why the aerobic system is super important to develop. So if someone does sprints and they can't really catch their breath in like a minute or 2 minutes, it's not that they're not in anaerobic shape, which is what sprints are, but they're not in good aerobic shape, because your aerobic system helps your body go back to homeostasis, which is basically just that level place where it wants to be. So that's your aerobic system. Again, it's going to help you. It's the system always used to keep you alive. It's also the system that allows you to do things for a longer period of time. It's a system that helps you recover, helps you deal with stress. The problem with that, it just can't do a lot of work at once, because it's almost like a weak system, but it can provide energy for a long period of time. So the anaerobic system, these are things like sprints, intervals, HIIT, kettlebell swings, circuits. This system allows you to do things very intensely, but not for a short period of time, so you kind of burn out quickly. So this system is going to help you be able to produce more force if you train properly. It's also going to, over time, it can help you basically keep that high intensity for a long period. Not forever, but say you can only maximally sprint for 10 seconds. Maybe if you do a lot of anaerobic work, eventually your max sprint can last 10 seconds. Or your sprints get faster and faster. A good anaerobic training can also teach your body to recover and give high amounts of efforts over and over again. So not that you're not going to be able to do it constantly, but a lot of times if you're unconditioned, you can be really explosive, say your first set of sprints, but the third set, fourth set are a lot less explosive. So by training an anaerobic system, you can be explosive over and over again. And this is definitely an important component for a lot of different sports. So a quick example of an aerobic workout, it could be walking, it could be jogging. Now, if you're not a good jogger and your heart rate's racing when you're jogging, it can probably be more anaerobic. Jogging in an aerobic way is really boring because you have to go really slow. And I'm sure you've seen these people who jog and they look like they're jogging so slow, and you're almost like, hey, you'd be better off walking. But that's the kind of jogging that you want, because when you work the aerobic system, you want your heart rate, your beats per minute, to be between 120 and 150 for most people. So another thing I'm a fan of for aerobic training is doing circuits, but just trying to keep your heart rate in that zone. So a lot of times with my clients, when we're in the gym, we would do like boxing stuff, mitt work. We'd do some body weight exercises. Might be do some mobility exercises. Again, just keeping that heart rate in that zone, but it's a little funner. We might do, every exercise might be 3 minutes, and we might rotate it through 3 or 4 times, so we're actually still doing like 30 minutes of cardio. Now for an aerobic system, so this is your intervals. I'm a big fan of like doing intervals on machines or hill sprints, doing more like, I would say, cardio exercises for that. I used to like doing like, say like circuits with say exercises like jump squats or like jumping lunges. But because I'm a big fan of strength training, we don't want the exercises we do when we do intervals to negatively impact how we strength train. So I prefer doing anaerobic work on maybe machines, doing sprints, doing runs, kettlebell swings, stuff like that. If you have ropes, you can do rope slams, stuff like that. Now, the thing with intervals, to do it properly, is you have to do 2 things properly. You have to make sure you're actually giving an extremely high effort. You gotta make sure you recover. If you don't do one of those things, you're not going to get the same effects. So if you don't go all out, and then you're resting for too long, you're not going to get the same effects. But on the other end of the spectrum, if you go all out, but then you're not resting long enough, you can only give that high effort maybe 1 to 2 times, and the rest of the interval workout is very low quality. You don't want that either. So I hope this kind of explained what base. I hope this kind of helps you figure out what condition is and which one you might prefer to work on mostly. Is it the aerobic system or is it the anaerobic system? The aerobic system is basically what we live on, so it's definitely something that you want to work on. You want to work on most of the time. And the anaerobic system is great too, just to build really good fitness, and it has the ability to help you burn fat by boosting metabolism. So it's something you might want to do 1 or 2 times a week.